Okay, today we're going to discuss the user experience from the driver perspective, what that looks like to use the DigiTrack application. We'll go through the links for using the map, to sending messages to dispatch, to reviewing the ticket information, all from the driver's perspective. So first thing that we're going to do is going to log into the DigiTrack application itself. So we'll come in and we will select the login icon, and then we will enter the driver PIN. Once we begin login, depending on your system configuration, if you're running the DVIR system, you will go ahead and see the previous DVIR for this truck. It will show what it looks like, and I will just simply hit OK once I'm finished reviewing. From there, you have multiple different steps within the driver vehicle inspection report. So you have tests, measurements, components, and summary. First, we'll begin with the steps. So they are a simple pass fail. The driver can go through and select whether he has passed or failed each one of these individual tests. If he is unsure what that test entails, he can always go ahead and select the information icon. That will pull up a short description of what he should be doing to perform that test. And I can hit close or X to remove this window. I'll go through and I will just finish up selecting pass for each one of these. And that will move me to step 2, which is the measurements. Now these are customizable, so if this is something you didn't want to have added, that can be missed or that can be passed, or if you would like, these could be added in. So I'll go ahead and I will select engine hours. I will enter these in. I will leave my lunchtime break, and then I will enter in the odometer as well and save. From here, we'll select continue, and this will take me to my components. So for the components, you will only be selecting the parts in which there are a defect associated to them. Now, next to each of the parts, you can see that they are listed out as critical or non-critical. The difference between the two is per FMCSA and DOT compliance, the non-critical part, if selected as a defect, is just an indication or a warning to the mechanic that this defect needs to be addressed at some point in time, but I can still run the vehicle for the day. If a driver selects a defect that is listed as critical per FMCSA, that means that the truck is down until the repair is made on this defect and it's certified that the repair has been made and is fixed. I'm going to say that there are no defects for any of these components and simply select continue. Once I've gone through my test, my measurements, and my components, it will take me to my summary screen. So this will allow me to review all of the items that I covered during the vehicle inspection. I will select here to indicate that the condition of the vehicle is satisfactory, so it's safe to operate. Once I do that, you can see that the submit icon highlights in green and allows me to move forward. So I will say submit. This is just once again an acknowledgement and confirmation, and I will say yes. Upon logging in, this is the general layout of the DigiTrack application. So up at the top is going to be your address, which will give you your link to your navigation and to the map. Below is going to be your ticket information. At the bottom of the screen is going to be your statusing. And then over to the right, you have a couple of different items. You have a previous truck, which is going to indicate a previous truck on an order, the current time, a menu, which we'll review later, which has additional features and options within the DigiTrack application, and then your messages, which is going to allow the driver to dispatch communication, and if enabled, it will also allow driver to driver communication or driver to order communication. First thing that we'll start with is the the directions and the map. So to enter or get into the map, I can go ahead and just select on the blue banner, and that is going to pull up my map for me. Now I can zoom in or I can zoom out as a driver. So this will go ahead and show me the route that I would be taking for this particular ticket. So you can see where I start out down here with the silos, and then my job site location and the route that it's suggesting that I take to get to this job. If I would like to go ahead and say, yes, this looks good, let me initiate my turn-by-turn directions, I could simply hit launch navigation. This will pull up my Google Maps.
11th Street towards Southeast First Way, then turn right onto Southeast First Way.
This will pull up my Google Maps and give me my turn-by-turn direction to get to the job site. If I want to get out of my map, I can simply hit the Digital Fleet icon. This will take me back to my DigiTrack application, and you can see down here in the bottom, I still have my picture-in-picture for turn-by-turn directions. If I want to end my turn-by-turn directions, I can once again click on the picture within picture and hit the X. That will go ahead and that will cancel my turn-by-turn navigation. Below the navigation and map option is the ticket information. So if I select in the black section, this is going to pull up my ticket information. So you can see that I have my current ticket, and then I have additional tabs underneath my current ticket. The first one is the details tab. So this is going to show general information for my current ticket. So it will show the ticket number, the date and time that it was assigned, and then my ticket details, which is going to be who the customer is, the location I'm going to, if there are any specific delivery instructions, those would show up underneath here. Next to the delivery details, I have my order details. This is just going to show the order number, the ordered amount for this entire order itself, how much has been actually delivered, if there is a PO that's associated to it, and if there is a specified payment method. This could be that they have credit, or it could be a COD, cash pickup. That would indicate underneath your order details. And to the far right, we have our ticket detail section. The ticket detail section is going to show ticket number, the original plant that I am being loaded out of as a driver, the truck, who the driver is, the current load, size, and if there is a target slump that's associated to it. If I want to review the products, I can go ahead and I can scroll down. This is going to show me the product. So I've got 10 yards of a 3500 PSI standard mix. Next to the details is the driver add. I can select driver add, and this will allow me to add in an event as a driver. So if I go ahead and select add event, I can select a water add event. Maybe this is water added at the slump rack. Maybe it's water added when I get to the job site. I can go ahead and put in an amount of water and just simply say add event. You can see the other option that I had was that I could also add the slump into it. Next to the driver add, I have a notes section. If I wanted to add in a special note to this particular ticket, I could come in here. I have two options. I can use the keypad at the bottom, or I can do a talk to text functionality by selecting the icon to the left. Test note for a ticket. It will automatically populate and I can submit. Next to the notes is an extra products section. If there are any additional or extra products for this, you would see those products listed out here. I have a QC section, which allows me to go ahead and put in a QC note if there is a test that's done once I get to the job site. To get out of, I can simply hit back. And then there is a status section. If I go ahead and select the status section, over to the left, it's going to show me each status and the time in which I went to that status. If we have the DF Plus enabled, this will go ahead and show the drum rotations listed here as well. Over to the right, you can see the water added events. the time, and it will also show a cumulative amount of water that's being added. Next to the current ticket, if I want to, as a driver, review all prior tickets that I've ran for the day, I can go ahead and I can select my tickets. What that will do is show my ticket history for the day, so it will allow me to look and review each one of the tickets that I've ran through for the day. If I want to dig into the details, just like we did with the current ticket previously, I can select View Details. It will take me back to this page, and I will be able to go ahead and look through each one of the items. Next to the tickets is the messages. Underneath the messages, we have canned messages, history, dispatch, truck, and order. Canned messages are predefined messages that are set up and configured to automatically be populated for the drivers. This is something that's going to be used on a day-to-day basis, very quick, easy for the drivers to use, to where they can simply come into the canned messages, select one, and it will be sent to dispatch. Now, to get back to the messages section, you can use the tile down here to go ahead and select, and it will take me back over to my messages feature. Next to my canned messages, I have the history. If I want to review the history of communication between myself as a driver and the dispatcher, I can go ahead and I can select the history option, and that allows me to review all of the conversation that I've had for the day. If I want to go ahead and create a new message, or I want to reply to a message, I could go ahead and click. Once I click, this is going to once again pull up the keypad here at the bottom to where I could type something out and send, or I could use the talk to text feature. The dispatch section just allows me to send a message directly to dispatch. That will show up on the dispatch screen. They will be able to go ahead and review that. They can either acknowledge that message or they can reply to the message. The truck option allows the driver to select a specific truck number and have a communication directly to that truck. This is a feature that is enabled upon request. So if this is something that you do not want turned on, it does not come turned on as default. If you want that enabled, please notify your customer success manager or your sales rep. Next to the truck is the order messages. The order messages allows you to send a message to every truck that is associated to your particular order. So for example, any truck that is associated to order 987, if I were to go into my messages and select order, I could type a message. Any truck that is on order 187 or has been ticketed for that will go ahead and receive the message that I've sent over. We will hit back. This will take us back to our home screen. Down at the bottom is your statuses. So you can see that this is the current status, driver prep, and then my next most logical status in my status loop. If I select, this allows me to look and see that, okay, I went in service. I am currently ticket assigned. This was the time that I originally was receiving the ticket or was assigned to it. My next logical status would be my begin load status. So I am now underneath the plant being loaded up, and the next most logical status would be to job. On the menu section, we have multiple options. We have the DVIR, which we reviewed. This allows you to open up the DVIR directly and edit a current DVIR that is in progress. So I can do an ad hoc midway through the day if I needed, or I can go ahead and I can view previous DVIR history for this particular truck. Underneath my time card, I can select, and this will allow me to review my time card. So you can see that this will show the time that I am clocked in and the time that I am clocked out. If I want to review a specific date range, you can see I'm currently reviewing August 16th to 23rd.
GPS signal lost.
If I want to review for the entire month, I can go ahead and say okay. This will pull in all of my schedule that I have ran for the month. And down at the bottom, you can see that it shows a cumulative total for my hours as well. Next to time card is survey. Survey is going to be a question sent out to the entire fleet from dispatch. This allows each individual driver to respond to that and the dispatcher to track and monitor the answers for each one of those drivers. Typically, surveys are going to be used for something like who wants to work this weekend, who wants to stay for the cleanup loads. This will go out to every single one of the drivers, and then the drivers can say yes or no, I want to shut down. No, I'm busy this weekend. And it just collects that data for dispatch to review in a easier form. Next to survey, there is the fuel option. If you would like to track the amount of fuel that is added for those trucks, you can certainly do that. So you can go into the fuel and you can select how much fuel was added. I will say we just put 30 gallons. For the engine hours, we would go ahead and we could put in our engine hours. For the odometer, we can put in the same and simply hit save. And now the fuel will be recorded for your reports. Underneath the preferences, this is the preferences and settings for the DigiTrack application on your tablet. So as you can see up at the top, this allows you to scale for your brightness, control the volume for your tablet. If you do not want to see a dark background, you can switch it to a light mode. Maybe that's easier on your eyes. Or you can even adjust the font size if you have a hard time seeing and you would like to increase the size of the letters on the keyboard or the text size for your main menu and your navigation. To get out of here, I can simply hit back. This will take me back to my screen here, and I can hit back once again to go back to the main menu or window for DigiTrack. Once I've completed my load for the day, so I will go ahead, I will say I've arrived.
Status sent.
We have poured out.
Status sent. Status sent.
Enter a water added. We'll say that there was no water added.
Status sent. Status sent.
We'll say to plant or returning. This will go ahead and pop up here. We can launch the navigation that will take us directly back to the plant. Or I can go ahead and I can just say, no, main menu, take me back to the home and arrive yard. At the end of the day, dispatch says, hey, you're good to go. You can wash fuel park. You can simply select the menu logout option and log out. Once I select log out, it will automatically initiate my DVIR for me again. I will go back through. I will pass all of my tests. I will enter my new engine hours as well as my new odometer. All of my components look good. I will say the condition of this vehicle is satisfactory and submit. This will once again give me a pop-up window just confirming and acknowledging. I will say yes. And this will begin the logout process. Now you can see my name, my truck number, and I have successfully logged out. If you do have any questions with the DigiTrack application and the driver functionality, please feel free to go ahead and contact Digital Fleet Support, your customer success manager, or sales. We would be happy to assist in any way that we can.